And go. Hello, this is Game Center Live. This is our show where we talk about what's happening in industry news as well. No, now it's sharp on the background. It should be sharp on me. It's hard to focus. Cameras are basically weird computers, everyone. Wait, no, that's not. Okay, true story. I was at GDC once and I recorded this interview, and they were using these like red cameras, and red cameras are like super fancy, expensive cameras. And we recorded like an hour or two of footage, and then right after that, they were like, "Oh, by the way, the camera crashed. The cameras can crash now," and the camera crashed, and it wiped the 1 or 2 hour interview I gave them. So then I had to actually go in another day to re-record the interview. And then when you do that, that sucks because it's like you lost all the energy and immediacy and fun of the first interview. So in other words, don't trust cameras. Cameras are getting too complicated. I wish we could just go back to simple old-timey things with no screens, but what can you do? Anyway, welcome to Game Center Live. I'm the host, Robert Yang. I'm faculty here at NYU Game Center. And we always want to start our episodes with Game Center Live, our weekly streaming show here at NYU Game Center, with some mundane school announcements. So let's take it away. So first, again, we have Playtest Thursday, 5:30 to 7 p.m. in the 370 J Street 6-4 Lounge. Playtest Thursday is where everyone hangs out, including students and local New York City games game dev community. It's open to the public. Just hang out, get your games play tested, and eat some free pizza. So that's always fun. Next. If you're a student here at NYU Game Center, we still have code help desks. Please go to the code help desks. We also have writing help desks. 3D help desk, 2D help desk, audio help desk, schedules down there in the ticker, so please look out for that. Next up, we are doing a lecture series talk tonight featuring Bonnie Rugberg, author of Video Games Have Always Been Queer. So please attend that. That's a talk happening tonight at 7 p.m. at 370 J Street in downtown Brooklyn. That's open to the public. If you're interested in LGBTQ issues or queerness in games, please come out. It should be really fun night. Next. No Quarter is also happening next week. So that's next Friday, October 25th. In case you haven't heard, No Quarter exhibition is a one-night game exhibition we do to commission 4 new games from 4 game designers or artists that we admire. So these are new, never-before-seen games. And this year, we are commissioning new games from Michael Bro, Karina Pop, Xavier Nelson Jr., and Marie-Claire LeBlanc Flanagan, who's also our artist in residence this semester. That event is free and open to the public, and there's also, low-key free wine and beer, because it's like an art opening in New York, so you kind of got to do that. But it's a really fun, great party, 7 to 11 p.m., Friday, October 25th. At the Dumbo Loft in Dumbo, Brooklyn. RSVP is required because this event gets super crowded and super fun. And pro tip, it's actually like a good, cheap date night kind of thing too. Because you go out there, it's like a fun video game thing, and you get to share your interests with your significant other. So please come out and RSVP to that event. Next. We also have a YouTube channel. As a reminder, youtube.com/NYU Game Center. Check out the link in the ticker below for over 100 talks by game industry figures like Austin Walker, Robin Hunicke, Nikki Case, Meg Janth, Clint Hawking. We have a lot of great content in there, so please check that out. Next. NYU Game Center students, please apply to the Sloan Foundation grants. You have grants up to $20,000. Are available to Game Center students making games that promote a greater understanding of science, tech, or economics. So the deadline to apply is October 21st, which is next week. If you need help with the application or want to know more about what that stuff involves, please talk to faculty member Matt Parker or Dylan McKenzie for more info about the Sloan Foundation. And please get that money. Your game doesn't even have to be super sciencey either, right? If it's like mostly sciencey, that's like good enough, right? Okay? Or even a little bit sciencey is enough too. So again, talk to Matt or Dylan. QGCon is also going on next May. QGCon is the Queerness in Games conference happening at Concordia University, and they just recently extended the deadline to submit a talk or workshop or game, and that's been extended to October 21st. That's next week. So you still only have basically this weekend to get your submission in. Please visit qgcon.com if you are an LGBTQ spectrum or if you identify as an ally. Please support this event and try to make it out there. And as a last reminder, we maintain a website, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Please visit our URLs and follow us for more information and to keep updated on stuff. Also in the chat, looks like Data SKS asks, are you going to post this video on YouTube as well? Yes, we always archive every episode of Game Center Live, partly because Twitch just deletes them after a few weeks, which is kind of messed up, if you ask me. But we archive to YouTube so that it can be remembered for all posterity. Data also asks, what camera are you using to record this? It looks like we're using a Sony Alpha 7. I don't even know if that's a good camera or not. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on then to news with Naomi. So we always like featuring a industry news roundup where we talk about what's happening in the game industry and provide a little bit of analysis for you too, so that you can help understand like what's going on. So introducing here is Naomi.
Hey, whoa. Totally got like headband hair.
Oh, geez. Okay, while you fix that up, so Naomi is also faculty at NYU Game Center. If you haven't met her, or if you're a student at NYU Game Center, shame. You should definitely talk to Naomi because Naomi is super cool. Okay,
All right, is this on?
Yeah, I believe it's on.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
Let's cut to our first news story that we want to talk about today. Julie, you want to cut? So first we want to talk about how Fortnite made hundreds of thousands of people watch nothing on Twitch.
Right, just giant black hole. This news story is from before Chapter 2 opened, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it was while everyone was just sort of waiting for the downtime to end. And usually this isn't a big deal when there's some downtime between like a major patch, but this one was artificially long. And that caused a lot of consternation and comments, with a lot of Twitch streams just showing this, I guess, and people talking over it.
Yeah, it just looked like this, right? Like this screen.
Just
this is all you would see when you open up Fortnite.
Right, and so, yeah, a bunch of people were mad, of course, and then a lot of people were like, oh my god, what could possibly be happening? It's so dramatic, we're all waiting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of media commentators were saying things like, oh, well, this is the only way to recreate the like media event experience, right? The kind of thing that used to happen when everybody would like watch the same TV show at the same time, which is sort of like this fabled old golden days of media that I feel like some media scholars like to wax nostalgic about,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Fortnite, because it's mysterious, because it denial of being able to play, right? Everybody was like pacing around, waiting like they're waiting in a delivery room for a baby to be born, and that baby was apparently Fortnite Chapter 2, which I haven't read that much about yet. But you've made games that force people to wait to play.
Yeah, I actually kind of applaud. I feel like this is like a brilliant conceptual kind of power move by Epic to like flex a little bit and being like, you want Fortnite? Well, you can't have it yet, right? So I always applaud moves like that by developers to assert their control over their player base.
Yeah, and it's weirdly like, patience and waiting for things to happen is a huge part of modern games, ever since, grinding and free-to-play games and like Farmville got big. So yeah, we see it coming back here again in yet another way.
And then even Lady Gaga heard about this, right?
Yeah. She's like, "What's a Fortnite?"
What's
Fortnite? who's ninja. I don't know. So yeah, people these days are just excited whenever a Goose Game or a Fortnite game, some celebrity notices it.
Wait, this person
What? That
lives in
person
the same
knows about
world as
video
I
games?
do? What? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like people. I guess people know that some celebrities, like Vin Diesel, plays D&D or whatever, right?
Right.
But everyone else, it's like what?
It is cool that she spelled Fortnite wrong, though. That's
yeah, no, I
pretty
like
cool.
that. That was I choose to believe that she deliberately spelled it wrong.
Because when Epic paid her to tweet about it,
Right, it was like
they were like, spell it wrong.
Yeah, that was part of the promotional deal.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next news story. This one actually features quite a few local New York City games community folks, right?
So this is a big splashy human interest feature in the New York Times. That's why it doesn't look like a usual New York Times page. It's got a lot of photos. A ton of these photos were taken at the Game Devs of Color Expo, I think. Although they don't mention the Game Devs of Color Expo in the story.
Which is kind of weird, considering that's where all these photos are at.
That's what the story is about. And the Game Devs of Color Expo is also about being a minority in gaming. But that would, maybe it's not a cool enough story. Like, it doesn't have enough of the flavor of the New York Times discovered that there are some people of color who make games. Meanwhile, the Game Devs of Color organizers got a big Game Changer Award at IndieCade last week, which is much deserved.
As well as our faculty member,
Right.
Mithu Kandakar. Good job.
Yeah, a professor at New York University's Game Center.
Lowercase g, lowercase c. We see you, New York Times. We do not approve of this.
Yeah, so this, unlike Lady Gaga's misspelling, was not approved by us. We insist that it be New York University, no apostrophe S, then just Game Center capitalized, because that's our brand. This is like if they said at MIT's Media Lab with lowercase, then it would be like, oh, well, that's like the lab where people go to watch VHS tapes. It's the Media Lab at MIT, right? MIT's Media Lab. And so we don't want to get reduced to being New York University's Game Center. That's where the game clubs meet.
Right? We are capital G, capital C, New York Times. Get your fact checkers on the case.
We grant accredited degrees in game design and development here.
We are accredited.
We're not just a place where there's a bunch of games, a center of games.
We are not just a common center of games.
So you heard it here first. The New York Times has nagged the Game Center.
Not a fan. But pro, Dr.
Yeah,
Mithu,
Dr. Kandakar, yeah.
And Glow Up Games, Mithu's new startup operation.
Really
good job
And,
name checking that.
Full of people of color and women making games. There's Squinky, friend of the Game Center. Yeah, you and I and Squinky were all in a museum exhibit in Berlin not too long ago.
Oh, yeah. Emma
Kidwell, yep. Emma Kidwell is local to New York, right?
These are really nice photos.
Oh, Joyce Lind is Queering Space-Time, really interesting game.
They have a good photographer.
They do.
I want to just look at that. That's such a good photo.
Yeah, when I say a big splashy
my God,
feature,
such a good photo.
that's what this means. Like, they spent a lot more on the photography, and they put it on a black background. And you have to read white on black text.
That's how you know it's serious.
This is a feature. It's in-depth reporting about the NYU's Game Center. And then Julian Cordero, of course, and Julian's collaborator. Did they? What's his name?
They did not name him. They just photographed.
They were both in the incubator. Sebastian, of course, Sebastian. And so they were in the incubator here at the Game Center last summer, and Julian also is just a recent graduate of the BFA. So cool. You know, if you make a really good capstone game, BFAs, you could be in the New York Times.
But just when that Times reporter calls, you just insist capital G, capital C, okay?
Inside scoop, Mithu tried to argue with the reporter or the fact checker, I think, and be like, no, it has capital letters. And they were like, no, we're not going to capitalize it. So go to this page, write some comments, and be like, NYU Game Center is a proper name.
Flood their comments. Okay, we're spending too much time on our weird personal beef.
Keep going.
Okay, let's keep going.
Oh yeah, and this is Geeta Jackson of Kotaku also covered this, and also misspelled NYU Game Center. And
Wait, what? Wait, Geeta, what? Geeta, you know
no,
us.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry, Geeta. We should have mentioned this on the air, but yeah. So Mithu's name unfortunately spelled wrong in NYU Games Center.
Oh.
We got to come up with a cool misspelling like Fortnite, and NYU Gamer Center.
Gamer Center. At least it's not games with a Z. I
right,
mean,
Z or
that might be worse, I guess.
NYU gamer apostrophe S center, gamer center. That would be the word.
But what's Gita's general take on all this?
Gita's take was sort of actually kind of pessimistic. Looking at this New York Times article, which and saying like actually it still is really hard to be a minority in game development. It's an uphill struggle. I think it may be in part because a lot of the people that were being talked to for this article are independent developers. Julian and Sebastian sort of working on this game, like it's on the screen here, Despolote, and Mitu getting things just started with Glow Up Games, working on their first game. Squinky, who's doing sort of fairly experimental work, and like Emma Kidwell also working on smaller games. I think Gito was seeing a common thread there that like, oh, actually it's a pretty uphill struggle. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, there are in other large companies some minority-led teams apparently that are making some huge games. That was another one of the news stories.
Optimist. I hope things will be. But Gita doesn't say this quote. This pull quote's from someone else, right?
Maybe? I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, no, that's a quote from Devion Gooden. Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Cool.
So, there's some notes of optimism, but I think Gita's overall take was like, wow, it's still pretty rough. We haven't reached the promised land. Gita's article and the New York Times article like just generated a huge amount of anger from some quarters, of course, being like, why does it matter that there are minorities in games? Shouldn't just the very best game developers be making games and everyone else just get out?
They haven't finished their game yet. They're not the best.
Yeah,
clearly.
How could they be struggling? Go to the Riot article. The League
this one?
Yeah, so this is related, right? So this is from CNN Business. They're actually paying attention to Riot announcing new games. This is not the kind of thing that business news usually pays attention to.
Oh, really? CNN Business even?
Yeah, they're saying, okay, Riot has announced doing 5 more games.
For 10 years, something called Riot Games has been making some game called League of Legends. Okay, I see your point.
Right. The people reading CNN Business or watching it, they don't know what Riot is, even though League was for a while the largest game in the world.
Right.
So now it is pretty big news that Riot has announced 5 new games because they've been a one-game company for 10 years.
Oh, they have a Hearthstone.
Yeah, so don't call it a
Hearthstone. I mean, I'm okay. Sorry. They have
a Legends of Runeterra. Now, I just want to say I don't know who came up with the name Runeterra.
It's a video game, but
that's a really video game name for a world. It's almost as bad as the Dragon Age world name, which is what is it called?
Thedas,
which stands for the Dragon Age setting.
But at least that's like almost kind of like a savvy lampshady rivalry
that's a
Does
little bit
is
like,
Runeterra stand for something like?
Oh, it's like Terra but with runes.
I mean, the reason why you'd come up with like a fantasy land name is that later you can sell like merchandise set in the world of Runeterra, right?
But I'm going to set my new game in Dragon Magica.
And then trademark that, right?
Yeah. With a K in Magic.
Okay, so they're coming up with a not Hearthstone.
What other games? A not Hearthstone, a not Diablo.
A not CSGO.
Yeah, a not...
or not Rainbow Six Siege.
Right, a not fighting game of some kind.
In the animated series.
Right.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, about 2 League of Legends characters. So... Yeah, they're really expanding. And PC Gamer, which I think is one of the other tabs, they were like, oh, shots fired. They're like, it's a declaration of war against Blizzard.
This is war!
Yeah, they're like, Blizzard is faltering. Riot is out for blood. This is sort of happening maybe against the backdrop of Blizzard taking a beating because of the stuff last week around the Hong Kong protests a couple weeks ago now. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people talking about boycotts, and then they had to walk that back and give a bunch of the prize money back to that competitor. Riot, of course, has like much larger Chinese stake of ownership, but they at least have not shown any signs of banning or punishing players due to politics having to do with China. But I don't know. Yeah, they're definitely expanding into a bunch of types of games.
Is your mic on?
Oops.
Your mic's on? No, it's on.
It's on? Okay.
For some reason, the captioner has stopped.
Ah, okay.
Oh, well.
I hope we're not talking too fast.
Are we talking too loudly or too quickly? I don't know. Well, hopefully they're okay. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah.
Apologies if you're relying on the captioning. Although if you are relying on the captioning, then you cannot hear me. So, sorry.
Right.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, so they're expanding into a bunch of terrain that's more traditionally dominated by Blizzard.
Hmm.
Do they have what kind of game is Overwatch? A team shooter?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so maybe they're going to come out with a team shooter. I don't know. But here's the interesting thing. One of the lead designers of one of these games, I think it was Project F, Katie Tyronis, noted on Twitter that all of these new games, the 5 new games, are all led by. Oh wait, we've got no sound too. Oh, no, some people still have.
I'm
sound.
running out of battery actually. Julie, can you get a new battery from that yellow bin?
Yeah, so I'll keep talking.
These use batteries so fast.
The
Okay, yeah. Yeah, sure, too.
The developers of these games, Katie Tyronis reported that they're all led or predominantly led by women, people of color, various minorities.
I'll keep going.
Which is really interesting. I think she was saying on Twitter, like, this is just a start. It's hopefully it means something a little bit to somebody that these teams don't necessarily look like the stereotype of what game developers look like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's notable for Riot, which is a little bit notorious as a hostile environment, especially for women. Oh, there we go. There's the tweet.
Right, so this tweet, although it seems like Katie is using a new Twitter feature where you can hide toxic replies to your Twitter. Why would there be toxic replies in response to women leading development
being
teams?
Like, how dare, like, what's going on? So if you tweet something like this, and a bunch of people will just be like, why did they artificially put these people in charge of those teams? Why isn't the best person instead? Because the best person in those people's minds is not going to be a woman or a person of color. It's going to be the usual suspects, like white dude.
Right.
Here's what I think. Riot for a long time has had a reputation of not being the greatest environment to work in, especially if you're a woman. I've heard reports for many years that of people getting kind of pushed out of some of the League of Legends dev teams, which were kind of dominated by an old guard of like, we are the most expert League players, and if you're not the most hardcore League player, if you come from other genres, then get off our team. Or like, maybe you're not a good culture fit. That's how people say that in corporations. And so my impression is that maybe part of the reason these teams, with this new exciting slate of Riot games, have more women and maybe more people of color is maybe they were pushed out of the main League of Legends teams. And some of them, I'm sure, just got pushed out of the company completely, but others might have been like, oh, I'm not a good culture fit on your team. Well, maybe I'll go down to the R&D department and work on a card game or, a different kind of single-player dungeon exploration game or whatever these new games are.
So it's certainly like a mixed bag how to like read this, right?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's a positive and negative maybe, but maybe there's hope for Riot still if they listen to their employees and unionize and make some changes. Maybe if they fire that guy who was like grabbing his coworkers' balls. Yeah.
That sounds like a good start.
That might be a good start. I don't think they fired him yet.
But also carrying these projects through to production and stuff and supporting
supporting those teams. Yeah,
too.
But maybe they can support the teams by protecting them from harassment.
There's more than one way to support a team, maybe.
Yeah. Protect them from harassment online and off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, next up on the news is Pokemon Go storing untold amounts of data about its players.
Yeah, this is really interesting. This is by Cecilia Anastasio, who also broke the story about Riot being a bad place to work.
Oh, nice. Good job, Cecilia.
Cecilia is like pretty much the top investigative reporter in games right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Jason Schreier. I think maybe you've been eclipsed. But Cecilia is producing so much interesting work, and this one is a deep look into Niantic and involving a lot of interviews with Niantic, but really taking this angle of, wow, it's kind of disturbing and kind of amazing that Niantic has so much location data. It could be abused so easily. You could pretty much identify anybody in a way that's like that. What's that Enemy of the State? Is that the
with Harrison Ford? Is that a movie?
No. What's the movie where they're able to like track where someone's going and everything about them based on all of the data?
Are you talking about, what are you talking about? Like real life? Is this like it's NSA movie program? Oh.
I forget who was in it.
That's like Fast and the Furious. Every movie has
there's
these
one that
plot
was,
lines now.
It's too old now. It's probably like from 2002, but it was famous for raising the specter of like the surveillance state. But Niantic is like the closest thing that we have to the actual real world version of those things that used to be scary sci-fi dystopia stories. It might be Minority Report. People are sort of yelling out things in chat.
Oh, cool. Now they have, okay, so they have your facial recognition data, and then they can tie that to your phone number and your GPS
right. Well,
ID.
this is for their new Harry Potter game where they're gathering like many times as much location data as they were for Pokemon Go.
Wow.
Which in turn was more than their game Ingress. And Niantic has always been defined by wanting to do interesting things with locations and blurring the lines between the real world and the digital world. And the reason there's all this interesting notes about local landmarks and stuff when you play these games is because they built this database over years, but it's also sort of like a weirdly dangerous weapon.
But the Niantic guy seems to be playing like a little bit like naive, right? Or like, oh, I don't remember Google wanting to be evil in the way you describe, or something, right?
Because they sort of have to be like, oh, this has so many benefits for humanity.
Such as...
And then they'll be like, and we'll be really good about being private. All the data will be anonymous. But this is actually a pretty good article for talking about, like, well, how anonymous is anonymous data really?
Right.
Once you start being able to correlate a lot of data with various types of databases, then you basically get a portrait of you made out of a whole bunch of tiny colored pixels, right? So, yeah, it's a little disturbing. Maybe something to think about if you're playing these. Or if you're designing location-based games. This might be, I think this is the meta story around all location-based games that they're going to have to reckon with sooner or later.
That they might just become weaponized as tools for surveillance if they're not already.
Yeah, and I think it's only a matter of time until maybe that gets talked about more openly, or something really bad does happen, or I don't know, a government requisitions all this information somehow, or seizes it, or a game developer actually makes a game that's a location-based game that's about being tracked by a government.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, again, good job, Cecilia. Good sleuthing. Next up, another Kotaku. We just like Kotaku here.
Yeah,
I
Kotaku
guess.
is pretty good coverage. Yeah, so this is not the only example. Kotaku is not the only people doing this. Actually, we probably could have found a similar story on a lot of sites. People saying, I don't know if I'm really going to keep paying for an Apple Arcade subscription. And it's journalists kind of trying to create an opinion, a take on like whether Apple Arcade can survive.
Right.
It is really tricky. It's a question on a lot of people's minds. I don't think any of the developers have actually gotten a royalty check from Apple Arcade yet. A lot of them have gotten production funding, but it remains to be seen how much money is actually going to sustain from these games.
Do we know if those were generally advances or on revenue or just grants and money? And
that's a good question.
Stuff?
I'm actually not totally sure. I think that they were not advances.
Okay.
That's my guess. I could be wrong. Some of the subscription numbers are trickling out through various types of rumors and leaks and secret conversations between developers of the Apple Arcade games. I'm hearing through multiple sources on the grapevine that the best Apple Arcade numbers are low hundreds of thousands of players, which is not terrible, but it's not incredible for games that have free first month subscription.
Yeah, I think it would like some of the larger Apple Arcade developers, certainly that's like very middle of the road for them.
That's
and
right.
then, but then also the smaller Apple Arcade developers would love to have a few 100,000, but they probably aren't. They're probably on the lower
Yeah,
end.
they might be more like 50,000 or something like that. And how much money that actually means, nobody knows, because it's not like a fixed percentage of ad revenue or subscription revenue. It's like through some weird algorithm that Apple's going to do. Yeah, they're going to be like, well, it's based on how much time people played your game and maybe some other factors. I don't think they're not being... Apple is super non-transparent. I think that's the biggest risk for developers, is that you just have no idea. Like, it's all some black box. Apple's not even giving developers as much data about their games as they would normally get. So you can't instrument your game with your own data to see how many levels people play. And a lot of games rely on that kind of thing to understand... like, how popular is a game?
Yeah, that sucks. Like, you can't make games if you don't know what your players are doing, right?
Yeah, so
like,
you're not able to do that with Apple Arcade.
Oof.
We have to see how this evolves, but right now it's like, oh, thanks for the production budget, Apple. Well, now what happens, right? And a lot of these games might pop off of Apple Arcade and decide to leave, which I think the developers have the option of doing.
Okay. So this next news story is following up on something that we
from
were
last week.
cheeky about last week, which was Google Stadia's negative latency thing. And then here it seems like someone's done a little bit more investigation into what the negative latency thing means.
Yeah, so I think this, as this article points out, negative latency is actually something that people have done for a long time, even in emulators,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think there was some in RetroArch, the front end emulator platform.
Mm-hmm.
They had a method of doing some predictive emulation.
Oh, run ahead.
Run ahead, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you know anything about run ahead emulation?
I use RetroArch all the time, but I don't. It's like invisible. It's like all streamlined, so you don't even think about. You just think the game's working like it should work.
Right, because emulation is the problem. You're emulating a whole chipset, so it actually can be pretty heavy. And to sort of try to make it less laggy than the actual, if you're running it on real hardware, to make it feel more smooth, what they're saying, from this other blog, Filthy Pants, is that...
Wait, I want to click on
That's
it.
a good name. I hope they have a... Where's their icon?
Filthy Pants.
How could you have a blog called Filthy Pants and not have a big icon?
Yeah, I'm disappointed in the lack of logo here, Filthy Pants.
Right, so if you really want to understand the technical details, you might be able to read it here, but basically what it involves is saying, all right, we're going to predict some future states of the game in advance, right? We're going to say, here's what we think might happen. And then for something like Stadia with a ton of cloud computing power behind it, they might say, all right, we're going to simulate several future possibilities, and we're going to render all of those on a server. And then maybe we're going to actually send multiple of them, depending on how good your bandwidth is, to your client. Which, I don't know, I guess they just have Stadia just consists of a Google Chromecast Ultra and a controller. So I don't know if they can, how much they can store, how many frames they can store, but they can maybe send several futures to your local side, and then based on what buttons you press, they'll be like, oh, okay, that was one of the futures that we predicted that you were going to press this sequence of buttons. And then they'll be like, show it to you, but it'll already be there. Although maybe if you do something that's not predicted, then you might actually get some lag. I don't know.
Right, so I feel like that would turn into this weird metagaming where you're guessing what Google Stadia is predicting for you, and then you'll try to do that because you'll probably have suddenly bad experiences.
Yeah, if you play more unpredictably, you also may be punished with more lag. It's maybe almost inevitable in the setup unless they are able to simulate so many possible future states that they eliminate all of those things.
I want to make a game that fakes that already.
Yeah,
that actually sounds like a cool mechanic.
So here's the downside. It takes so much. Like normally, if you're playing on a console locally, the processor is not simulating all these future states. It's just being like, oh, you gave us an input. Okay, let's show you what happens now in the future. That is the actual future that is caused by you pressing that input. But in this case, Google is basically running multiple copies of your game in the cloud. So it takes multiple amounts of energy.
It's a lot of energy. That's a lot of electricity.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of electricity. Cloud server farms are already causing enormous environmental problems in the neighborhoods where they sit. I was reading an article the other day from somebody saying like that they could not sleep at night for months, and then they eventually figured out it's because a block away there was an enormous cloud server farm.
Like shooting out like magnetic.
Yeah, that was just going like this all the time.
Oh my god!
Like a subsonic frequency that was like, keeping them up at night, and they couldn't do anything about it. There was like no way for them to
Jesus.
Get them to stop doing that. And so they're building more and more of these. They suck a huge amount of electricity off the grid. They have enormous carbon footprints. So now, if you play a Stadia game, the environment. This is like unquestionably the most environmentally destructive way to play video games that anyone has ever invented.
Oh, my mic turned off.
Oops.
Let me swap that out while you talk about the next story.
All right, this one is a new handheld from Analog, Analogue, and it plays Game Boy games. It's a super expensive way to play Game Boy games, and it can play games from a lot of different generations of Game Boy. Original Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and then also adapters for playing Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color. So this is the kind of object that's appearing more and more as like a fetish for people who like retro games.
Nostalgic, boutique, handheld electronics.
It costs a lot. It has a very fancy matte cover.
Look at that look at this
The
render.
matte finish.
Lovely render, right?
It's true. So yeah, I'm curious about these things appearing.
Oh, that's the guy who made.
That's the guy.
Why is he so sad? Oh.
Because it's very serious. This is artisanal. This is like a winemaking kit, right?
Farm to table Neo Geo.
It also has a synthesizer built into it.
Oh.
So that's like the artsy maker culture side of this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so like serious chiptune musicians
I think
could use this.
could get this and
Okay.
also play original Tetris or original Pokemon Yellow or whatever they want to play. And yeah, they also has a dock, so you can put it on your TV. You could blow up a 320 by 240 game to be enormous on your TV.
Oh.
The interesting thing for me is that probably you can get a ROM cartridge for this device that has every Game Boy game ever on it, and just have a giant library. That seems it might be useful. Of course, it's illegal. They're not actually selling it with ROM support. You have to get that somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just shows like people who played video games in the 80s and 90s, now a lot of them have disposable income because they work in the tech industry.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to next. Speaking of phones and tech and stuff like that.
I think we can just show this headline. Addie Robertson, a friend of the department here, has declared this. She's basing this on the fact that that Google and also Samsung have basically canceled their phone VR products, or they're phasing them out. So this was supposed to be the way that ordinary people would get into doing VR, right? And actually, I wasn't bothered by this. I found it relatively accessible compared to putting a heavy headset on your head.
Yeah, it was okay, and it was very transparent. Like, people understood the idea of putting a phone on your face.
Right, they're like, okay, I get what's happening.
But I think the problems with battery life and heat were just never going to go away.
Right.
So.
Well, I don't know if the heat problems are apparently not going away anyway. Like, the next generation of phones all have, like, terrible heat problems.
Yes.
So we're basically getting to the point where everyone's going to be carrying a bomb around in your pocket. Or something that's just going to spontaneously combust and burn you to death. And that'll be how the human race dies.
On that note, let's wrap up our news.
All right, thank you very
so
much. It's been a pleasure, as usual.
Thanks, Naomi. Okay, let's cut to our talking heads screen. Our next guest is a developer. Do you want to send Chris in? Yeah. Our next guest is a developer working on Killer Queen Black, which was recently released on Saturday, right?
Friday,
Friday,
actually.
actually. Here's your mic. So this is developer Chris Wallace, and you worked on Killer Queen Black, correct?
That's right.
Do you want to... Is it... Oh, wait, I think it's like...
Over there.
Oh, wait, it goes like that.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense. I've been wearing it the other way. Oh, shit. Okay. Do you want to just tell the stream a little bit about who you are and what you did on Killer Queen Black?
Sure. So my name's Chris Wallace, and I am a former student here at the Game Center. I graduated in 2016, and I'm an adjunct also. I teach intro to programming in the summer. And in January, I started working on Killer Queen Black as a designer. So the first thing I did was design the tutorial. That was a big thing that we needed to get in there. And then just like, other than that, everything in between, from working on the hitboxes to making map tweaks to UI improvements and, all kinds of stuff that you can imagine. So
Nice.
Yeah, just kind of a generalist.
So let's just go ahead and dive in and see how your hard work came out. So there's your gamepad.
So yeah, if you're not familiar with the game, this is kind of the next game in the line of Killer Queen games, starting with the field game that Nick and Josh made back in 2012 or 13.
For Come Out and Play, right?
Come Out and Play, that's right.
Wow,
that's
so
right.
this started as like a run around, capture the flag kind of game.
That's right.
In physical meat space.
Right.
And now it's a video game.
Right, and the next iteration,
Wow.
I saw you mention No Quarter before. The original arcade cabinet was commissioned for No Quarter, I think in 2013 also.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so years went by, and then now we have a home version that plays very, very differently. It's a completely built from the ground up different game. But it has the same spiritual berries, queens, and snail kind of deal going on. So
All right, so let's get warning. I'm just really bad at Killer Queen.
That's all right. We can play quick play. It'll be
Okay.
easy.
So what should we do? Go to play?
Yeah. And then, oh wait, I'm not in actually. So there we go. All right.
Okay.
Now I'm in.
Guide us.
Yes. I'll be queen.
Oh.
Yeah, so
okay.
basically the way it works is if two people pick queen, then it'll randomly pick one of them.
Ah,
or
so
you can
it's
pick
if you're like
either.
streamlining a lot of the process.
Right.
That would normally happen organically at the arcade cabinet.
Right, like, it's like, oh, let me queen. You get on, you stand there. A lot of things.
Or you like shove Charles aside and be like, no, yes or no. No, Charles doesn't queen. Charles
No, he doesn't queen. He doesn't queen. He rides the snail. Yeah. So yeah, so far, so we released on Friday for both Switch download.
Wait,
and
we're just
Steam.
playing people?
Yeah,
like
we're
on
playing
the internet?
playing humans on the
I'm
internet.
so
right
bad.
now.
Oh
all
my
right.
god, I'm gonna.
Just ride the snail. That's all it is.
Okay, okay.
or
I'm
run
on,
berries. We'll see how it goes.
I'm on
but
snail.
most of the time in quick match, competition isn't that tough. So ranked though, people are amazing. It's crazy how
You're
good
gonna have
people
to
have gotten
carry
so
us.
quickly. That's fine.
I think.
That's fine. I'm used to it. When we had the opening ceremony for Bumble Bash, which is the big annual Killer Queen arcade tournament, Black Emperor tournament. The mayor of Chattanooga was there, and he cut like a big ribbon for releasing the game. It looks like a game just ended. So basically, if there's a game with bots in progress, we just caught the end of that. If there's a game with bots in progress, it'll backfill you into that first before it creates a new game.
Okay.
So just to get people playing as quickly as
Also
possible.
like an Overwatch kind of thing, just to like slot you in.
Right.
That's nice.
So at the opening ceremony on stage, after the mayor was up there talking, we played an exhibition game, like the first game, and it was me and Nick and Josh and
With
Matt.
the mayor?
No, he didn't play. He didn't
What?
play.
Oh,
He
okay.
stepped off the stage already.
Wow.
But and it was a very close game actually. So I was on my last life, but in the end it worked out. It was a good show. Yeah. All
Nice. Okay, you're number one.
Right.
I'm Skull Drone.
Yep. And we have my bot version right here.
Chris Bot. Oh.
Yeah. And Sweetbot is Michael Sweet, who also did the sound for Dear Reader that just came out. Yeah.
Interesting. So as we play, you might have to do your own shoutcasting a little bit, and also maybe
Sure.
to our viewers who aren't as familiar with Killer Queen,
Absolutely.
you might want to talk about
I can definitely do that. So if you're not familiar with Killer Queen at all, it's a team game, 2 teams, 1 person on each team is a queen. By the way, the controls are tap A or hit A once to jump.
Okay.
And you're going to...
Oh no, Chris Bot's already taking the snail. Ugh, fine.
That's okay, run some berries or come
Okay.
try a warrior.
Oh no.
So... I haven't done talking while playing so much. So yeah, basically there's a queen on each team, and that's the one that's flying around and can dive down. And this is the most biggest responsibility player, because they're kind of controlling the flow and the pacing of the game.
Oh my god. The queen's too good.
That's all right. That's all right. They don't have much of a win condition right now. Sorry, I'm trying to kill this warrior. Oh, he's pretty good. These guys are pretty good. So there's 3 ways to win in the game. You can fill your hive with berries. You see in the top left and the top right, those are our hives.
Huh?
And they are there's a bit of lag too.
Sorry. Wait, no, it's your fault.
Yeah,
Developer's fault, there's lag. Okay. I'm running berries. You can see me up in the upper
That's
right.
all right.
And then you are queening down
On
below,
my last life.
fighting for the snail, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to clear these warriors basically, because our team doesn't have any warriors, so I'm the one having to.
Oh,
kinda
should I be
defend our-
warrioring?
You can try it if you
I
want.
should probably be warrioring, right? But they took control of the warrior chamber.
Yeah, so that we have the one oh shoot. Yeah. All right. That was
they
tough.
got you.
Yeah, they got me. They got me. Yeah, the pings are not the best right now.
It's NYU Wi-Fi. This is where our tuition goes.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, the 3 ways to win are filling the hive with berries, riding the snail all the way to the goal, or killing the enemy queen 3 times, which is what happened to me. So they won because they killed me 3 times.
Okay.
So I've got to play a little bit safer. I'm going to ping to the gates. So I'm not on voice chat with them right now, but I can ping the different objectives. I can say gates. I can say,
Oh
look,
no, we took the
our
gate.
hive.
Ah.
I can say, oh, look, they're riding the snail. And ping the snail like that.
Okay.
And yeah, this matchup is a little...
How do I get into
just
the chamber?
Just stand in there
Okay.
without moving for a second.
Okay, so now I'm a
Yeah,
warrior.
this queen's pretty good, actually.
Wait, Wait, how do I go down again?
The left trigger
Oh,
is...
I did.
You only go down if you're the queen.
Oh.
Left trigger is... Oh, yeah, he got me. Yeah, this guy's pretty good. Left trigger is attack.
Okay.
Not trigger, shoulder.
I know a little bit of Killer Queen lingo. I know that as a warrior I should be crowning.
No, so that's
or something,
basically,
right?
So this is a huge difference between the arcade game and this game.
Oh, okay.
Because the arcade game is built on joust mechanics, where if you're higher than the other player...
Oh, it's not like that anymore.
Right.
Oh.
It's a button to attack, and that was done because of the network latency stuff. So if you have those joust mechanics on a network, it's going to cause all kinds of issues.
Okay.
And so it's rebuilt from scratch to do button to attack. So once we open that space up, though, then you can have different weapons. So there's...
Cut off. Wait, let me see if I can even raise this up a little bit. No, I cannot. Oh, well.
That's fine.
That's just how we're going to be.
That's fine.
This level's fun.
Yeah,
Wait,
this is an interesting one.
Why aren't I putting... Okay, there we go.
Oh, I missed it. All right, we are a little bit ahead on berries.
In like a good way, or we should
No.
de-emphasize berries?
No, that's good. Basically, you don't want to be doing snail and berries. You want to pick one and commit to it.
Okay.
Oh, we got me there. So basically, if we were more coordinated at this point, we would have someone come out as warrior and prevent them from running berries. Because you can see that's what they're doing with us. They have those warriors, and they're stopping us from running berries.
Right.
So maybe this person will come out. I can tag the gate, yeah.
Oh, almost got me. Almost got my berry in there. Oh, wait. I can pick up that berry. Yeah.
I got one of the
Oh, wait.
warriors.
I have to come back
almost
down.
got the second warrior.
Oh, it's so interesting that I can't... The easy holes were down there.
Yep.
So now I just... I have to
You gotta
time
jump
my
these in.
jump
They're
better.
tricky. They're tricky, yeah.
That's interesting.
All right, I got another. Oh shoot! I missed the. I couldn't see where the the bottom was.
We've been... Blame the screen now,
Yeah.
huh?
a lot of
it's
excuses.
true.
A lot of
It's that
excuses.
you can see it's cut off a little bit. It's valid.
I was like, why am I not going down?
Valid critique.
And you can clap for your
How do we
opponents
clap?
that won. Y button. Yeah. And they can do little dances like that.
Oh, I like that's automatically a slow clap. That's
yeah.
nice.
It's like the golf clap.
It's like the reluctant clap that
Yeah.
you don't actually want to do. I'm a fan.
I like this one though. That's the.
Or you can dance? How do I
yeah.
dance?
Oh, only if you win, you can dance.
Oh,
That's-
what?
Yeah. If you lose, you just get the slow
Boo.
clap.
Oh, it's like Mario Party or Mario Kart. Okay, I'm into it. Oh, now we have full humans.
Right. So
Okay.
more people must have joined, or they mix the teams up. So hopefully we'll do better this time. Oh yeah, I forgot we had 2 bots last game. That's why we were probably doing
That's
so bad.
why. That's why,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things on our list is hooking up those pings so that it actually commands the bots to do what you ping.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the many things on our roadmap.
But this is already like cross-platform multiplayer,
That's
right?
right. It's cross-platform. It's not cross-party yet. That's another thing on our list. But yeah, right now you'll see, because if you look at some of the icons of the other players, sometimes you see those Switch user icons. So you can see when you're playing with people on the Switch versus Steam.
Oh, wow.
But if you're on the Switch, everyone appears with those because they don't show you, like, people can have some funny icon for their Steam profile.
okay.
So Switch hides those. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and Discord as well. People could be playing on Discord Nitro.
Was doing certification fun for this? Shipping on all these platforms?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Fortunately I was not too involved with that.
Oh, right. You were mainly game design and
Right.
stuff, right? Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean the devs. Oh yeah, it's that Nintendo lot check is a process.
Ah.
Let me see if I can clear this guy to help you run those berries.
Okay.
Oh.
Just don't die. I think we've been losing mainly because of the queen on the other
Yeah,
team,
it's
right?
true.
Just
It's true.
destroying,
Okay, they're
going
running a
after
snail,
you.
so I've got to clear the snail.
Okay.
So I think this is. Ooh, shoot, he caught me. This is one of my favorite maps because the berries are easy to run in the beginning, but then.
Why am I slow? Oh.
What do you mean?
I feel like I was
shoot.
walking really
Got me.
slow. Oh, well.
Oh, maybe you're in the grass. The grass slows you down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Grass is bad. Bees
Yeah.
do not like grass. Oh my god, the warriors are too much.
Got me again. Wow. Yeah, this guy's actually pretty good. Yeah, like I said, most of the time in quick play, you don't see people that good, so they're usually playing ranked. Yeah. So this is the first time. I've had a competition in quick play. It's good.
Let's see, what's chat being? Okay, chat's just explaining everything. Good.
Oh yeah. 1, don't die. 2, get good. Yes.
We're trying to get good. Oh my god. So how do we counter a warrior heavy thing? What should I be doing?
So I'm basically need to keep the gates so that. Well, first of all, we need to come out with warriors, because the problem is I, as the queen, am ending up doing all the fighting, and that's if I make a mistake, then we die, right? So our team needs to have more warriors ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, we got to. Oh, that was a good juke.
Why wasn't I going in the gate? I had to wait longer?
It might have been. Yeah, you have to wait a little bit.
Okay.
And it might have been their color.
And only the queen can take the gate back, right?
That's correct. So yeah, the queen's main job is to not die and then tag the gates so that only her team can use them. And this queen is actually doing a very good job of tagging them.
So that's pressure to keep the queen, right? On. Oh, snail victory! Snail victory!
Not yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I tried attacking, but it didn't take some time. Yeah.
Killer Queen Black official says hi, Chris.
Hi, I'm assuming Matt.
So tell us more about like the development process on this. Like,
yeah.
Like, is it challenging to like adapt this arcade cabinet format into like a home format? Right. Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I think it definitely was, but also a lot of fun design decisions to make, because it's like taking something that is really strong already and then like, oh, how do we make it this new fun thing with like, oh, there's different weapons and all that stuff. But I actually, because I came on and so late in the project, a lot of the base game was already made. So I wasn't as involved in like those early like decisions of what the weapons are and things like that.
Right.
More just like the tweaking of the feel and things like that once the core was already there. Doing all right this time.
Oh wait, help me! Defend me from the queen! Defend me from the queen! Snail victory! Snail victory!
We got 2 warriors out this game, so that's good.
I'll keep running snail.
Keep going for it.
Okay, the other ones are doing warrior. Okay, that's good.
They only have 2 berries left though, so.
Oh my god, I forgot the snail eats the workers.
It sure does.
Oh, that's so sad.
All right, so we got double ledge guard. Oh, they got.
Oh, they're gonna get the berries.
Oof. Oh no, they got it. They got. Oh no, he threw the berry before he got it.
Go! Stop the berry! Stop the berry! Stop the queen! Protect me from the. Oh, super close.
Yeah. So that at this point we gotta get more warriors out, because I can't do all the fighting myself here. I'm basically, if they get this berry in,
Yeah, snail victory.
So fortunately we got through before they got through.
Okay.
Finally, our first win.
That was close. We're on the board.
We're on the board.
Finally.
We're on the board. It's kind of 2D Dota without creeps and towers. That's an interesting perspective on it.
Yeah, it kind of is like 2D. I mean, without all those Dota-like features.
I think one of the good descriptions that I heard for it was a real-time strategy platformer.
Mm-hmm.
Because like normally you think of RTS as like StarCraft and like resource management and all that.
Right. Oh, they're just throwing the berries. Ugh.
All right, got the queen once.
Why aren't I feel like I'm missing something about the chamber. I just stand there?
You just stand there, but it has to be gold. So make sure it's gold. And if it's not gold, that's when you yell at me to say, hey, come tag this gate.
Oh, shit, the queen was there.
Oh, shoot. I missed my dive. Oh, get him, get him, get him. So they're doing well on berries again.
I'm not turning into a queen. I'm just standing in the upper right.
Oh, you need a berry to turn.
Oh, right. Okay.
I missed the queen there.
It's not fair. I didn't understand the gameplay mechanics. Oh, we have too many drones here. We have too many drones. Uh-oh.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I thought I was going down. Man. Not my best day. Not my best day.
Can
I
we
have to say.
rage quit and fight against a new queen that isn't so good?
We could. We could do that. Do you want to do that?
How do we do that? You'll have to do that in the menu. Press B to cancel. So we'll rage quit
Yeah.
and just go to quick play again. It's not
That would be really
fun
funny.
like that.
It would be really funny if we backfilled in the same game anyway.
Oh, it might happen. Oh, we have to wait 2 minutes for matchmaking? Okay.
Well, that's what we get for rage quitting.
The game is punishing us, right?
Yeah. But actually, if you do quit during rank, then it does ban you for a little bit. Forget how long exactly. It's like a day or something.
But, this is just pub, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are, like, future plans for Killer Queen Black? Like, is this going to be, like, a games as service with, like, new seasons, or what's going to happen?
That, if we do really well, that's definitely something we'd like to go that route. It's still really early, so we have to see. But we definitely have a lot of updates already being worked on. There's a lot of content updates I want to make in terms of new maps, in terms of like single player challenges. Someone was talking about that today in our Discord. That's something I've had the idea of from day one, basically. Like, original Smash had like the break the targets and
Okay.
things. And people have been asking about like it's something arcade players do too, is sometimes they'll just go on and practice tech. So just having a practice mode where you can just as one player without bots go in and do stuff. So yeah, there's lots of little things like that. We have more characters on the way. In terms of the worker outfits, I want to add more emotes and things like that. So there's a whole lot down the line. It's just time and prioritization of everything.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so we just joined this game.
Okay, I think this might be our last game.
All right, sounds good.
So we have to win.
Yes.
Are we on gold team? Please tell me we're on gold team. I want to be on the
That would be
winning
good,
team.
right? Finally get a win here. Yes, we are gold.
Okay, good.
All right, we're both workers now.
So we're either gonna fuck them up or okay.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, positioning, but the queen's already gonna kill you. Oh my god!
Yeah.
This queen's way too good. I don't like this.
Sorry, I'm gonna try and run these berries. Get the top ones in first. That's the trick. Oh, watch out for that gun. The gun's super good. It's like really good for zoning
Oh wait,
out.
no, we're doing berries. Oops. I was trying to do the snail thing. They're gonna try to do the snail, right?
Yeah. All right. So now I'm gonna, since they're getting really
Oh my
far
god,
with
yeah,
that
they have
snail.
a gun. That's too good. It's
All
not
right, we
fair.
just cleared the snail. Where am I? Oop, lost track of myself. So this is the time when we want to start feeding ourselves to the snail so that it slows it down exactly.
Oh.
So now when I get my attack,
they're
I'm
gonna
gonna come in.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So I just cleared the snail there.
Okay.
And now the queen. Oh, but the blue queen killed. That's all right. We still have gold's still up too, so we still have a shot.
Oh my god, we're
Still have a
ruining
shot.
Gold's win streak. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry, Gold. Questions about cooldowns.
If you don't cancel, what's the cooldown until available again? It depends on each weapon. Crispy. Yeah. I think there's actually a lot of the Discord people in here now, so I think they're
cool.
being very helpful and answering some questions
Please
for us.
tell me how to play. Wait, where am I going? Where did I go? I'm
You
lost on
are-
the bottom platform.
Yeah,
Oops,
that-
Okay. Yeah, that cutoff screen is not doing us favors
Yeah.
right now. Should I be running this snail a little bit?
Yeah, their queen's just doing a better job of controlling the gates, so. Alright, I'm gonna come out. Keep running the berries for now.
Okay.
And I think they're going for snail. Oh, he just got me at the end of his attack. We might, yeah, at this point you should ride the snail back.
Oh, oops! I just.
Oh, man, they got the queen again. Okay. I don't know how they won those first two times with the bots. If this queen, maybe the queen wasn't playing as
Oh
aggressively.
my god, we're dragging the team down
Yeah.
with us. Oh my god. Their advice. Okay, chat has some advice. The chat advice is win the game.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, chat. Hi,
Alright.
Chris. This is your Peru friend, Jasper. Do you have a Peru friend?
Oh.
Now you do.
Yeah. Wow. Hey. Yeah, we were hiking together a few years back.
Oh wait!
Alright.
Oh my God! They're gonna get a snail victory already. Damn it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been trying to get a gate this whole game. Let me ping the gates. Yeah. All right. Oh no! See, the queen's following right behind our queen, tagging the gates. So that's basically.
And they keep protecting the snail. I don't think I can get
All
in.
right. Here I come. I got one shot at this. All right. All right. Just keep riding it back. I'm gonna try and hold it. All right, we're back at half. Oop.
Okay.
Got the queen.
Nice.
Got the warrior. Yeah, so basically at this point, we have a huge advantage because we have 4 berries into their 2. Looks like 5 now.
So we're doing good on everything.
Right, and
they're
the snail's back on our side.
They're gonna warrior up and try to
Oh,
take
I
everything
died.
back.
So I'm pinging for the queen to tag the gates again. I don't know what the queen's doing.
Uh-oh.
Still
none
pinging
of
the
these.
gates, like, hey, tag a gate, queen. No, okay. Queen did not do it. Well,
Are they mocking us and saying haha?
they are.
Are they mocking us?
Yeah.
You put mocking in your game?
There's-
You're building a toxic multiplayer culture.
There's the heart, too. I always do the heart, even when I get a kill.
It's okay. I'll slow clap for that one.
Yeah. Is that it for time?
Yeah, I think that
All
might
right.
be our last
All
one.
right,
I
no
think.
problem.
Just-
not my best day. Not my best day.
It's okay. We did good, and I feel like we got a good sense of how Killer Queen Black plays.
Yeah.
It's available now on Steam, Switch.
And I don't know if it's even still on Nitro, if you can still get it, but it was. But
What's Nitro?
yeah, exactly.
What? Okay. It's available on this thing I've never heard of, as well as
Yeah.
it's going
And
to
it'll
be
be,
Xbox, Xbone.
Yeah, sometime next year, and physical Switch comes out the 25th, and it comes with controller skins.
Ooh.
Yeah, nice swag.
Yeah, the characters are super cute. Oh,
Yeah,
it's on.
yeah.
Oh wait, Discord. Is that what Nitro is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Discord has a game store.
Right,
Huh?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Get it on that too if you want. I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining
Yeah,
us.
absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You can keep hanging out as
Are
like
you
boot
gonna
up
do
Grand Theft
the?
Auto.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a
Do you
look.
wanna
I haven't
keep
played it.
hanging
Yeah.
out? Because you are a native New Yorker,
That's right.
actually,
That's right. Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you a little bit of break. Good, let's cut to the talking heads for a bit while I set up.
Yeah.
Am I quitting? Okay. Okay, there. Now I'm quitting now. So tell us about help the chat in the stream get to know you a little bit better. So
Sure, yeah.
you were born and raised in New York.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What neighborhood?
I grew up on 22nd and Broadway,
Oh.
so across the street from the Flatiron Building.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually lived in Manhattan. I've always been a Brooklyner probably my whole
yeah.
life.
I went to high school in Brooklyn and obviously grad school, but
Right.
yeah.
So what we're doing now is we're doing a segment we're testing here on Game Center Live called I'm Walking Here. And for I'm Walking Here, wait, why is it windowed like this? Oh God, what a... And it's still using game... Okay, so today we're going to be playing Grand Theft Auto 4, but it's just so annoying because it's from 2008 and Rockstar has not like updated anything. Let me try to increase the resolution before we switch over.
Sure.
Where it's still using like games for Windows Live and everything, and it's like, how do I go to display? I can't change the resolution. Oh, graphics. Okay. Let's change this. Yeah, sure. 25 hertz? Why would I want it to update as 25 hertz? What? What's going on? Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, that's much better. Okay, let's switch over. One segment we're trying to do is play games set in New York to emphasize our New Yorkness and rub it in people's faces.
Yep.
Last week we played Alone in the Dark 2008, which was not the best game to walk around and talk about, because that's actually a horror game. Me and Jesper Yule were trying to like stare at this really dark screen and try to figure out and skip around how to play. So I thought we would do something that's more about like an open world fun kind of walk around thing.
Sure.
And what we'll do in I'm Walking Here is we'll just walk around in New York City and then talk about what comes to mind.
Love it.
And we can also trade controls if you want to walk around too, if you want.
Sure.
So this is Grand Theft Auto 4 Ballad of Gay Tony. This is one of the episodes from Liberty City expansion packs they released later. I chose one of the expansion pack things instead of the main Grand Theft Auto 4 because the Grand Theft Auto 4 actually locks you out of Manhattan for like 5 hours.
Right,
you have to play through all these missions.
Yeah.
And I did not want to do that.
That's fair.
That's actually all. It keeps you in Brooklyn, actually. It locks all the bridges out, which is a little bit too real. So first, let's look around. First, what neighborhood is this apartment in?
It looks like Inwood.
Yeah, Inwood a little bit.
Like maybe Washington Heights.
So does this look like an authentic New York City, Inwood Heights kind of apartment? It looks kind of big.
It's a little big. They've got the right idea with the kitchen just being part of the living room. But other than that, it's pretty big. This is a pretty nice apartment. Like if this is a 1-bedroom New York apartment, it's the bedroom's small and there's not really a door, so it's kind of like a studio that if you looked it up, they would call it a modified 1-bedroom or something on Street Easy. But it's
so
not
that's
really
like authentic, right? The idea of a curtain
it's
blocking off your bedroom.
Yeah. It's like it's a pretty like this is really a studio, but the real estate person called it a 1-bedroom. That's the vibe I'm getting here.
The bed I feel like is a little bit. This is like I imagine more like black sheets. He seems more of like a black sheets kind of guy. More of like a monochrome.
It's very kept. It's very clean. Like for
it's surprisingly clean for a
single
bachelor.
Dude. Yeah, like
right.
My bed's never that made up.
But it still does give off bachelor vibes, right? Like music system, coffee table. TV takes up a huge part of the living space.
Yeah.
We can watch TV if we want. Why is it so laggy? Should I turn down the graphics settings? This is such an old game. I thought I could turn everything to super high, but maybe I cannot.
So Amar from Charlotte is asking how much would this apartment rent for, and it really depends on the neighborhood, and I'm not familiar too much right now with the market for Uptown, but I'm gonna go around maybe 1,500 to 2,000, depending exactly where it is. Like if it's in like a really gentrifying neighborhood. No, per month.
Oh, no, it's much smoother. Nice.
One cent per year.
Okay, let's walk around and see what this neighborhood's like, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
So the fact that we walked out the door and heard Latin music, I'm saying Washington Heights more than Inwood.
Oh, yeah, this looks pretty legit, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is actually very authentic feeling. The only thing that's missing is there should be huge lines of parked cars along all the streets.
That's correct.
There's not enough cars.
Absolutely correct. But then it would be too easy to get a car to steal.
Yeah, then you could just steal
that would
any
completely
car.
break the game,
That's
right?
true.
Like,
how do I get in cars? Oops, I just jumped on my car. How do I? No, we're gonna walk.
I'm also gonna say. Well, what year
Let's
does this
walk.
game take place in, too? By the way.
2000. I think this was made in 2008.
But is that the time that the game is set in?
It's set in. I think
it's
around
maybe
this time.
Yeah.
Because
the cars look too old like that. Well,
the main Grand Theft Auto 4 is set in during like a terrorism kind of thing.
Got it. Okay.
So this is like 2005 maybe.
Okay.
Okay, let's just keep walking around.
Does that like a hospital there on the left?
Right.
Here.
There should be like. This is a hospital, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's pretty up. Like the hospital would be around more on the east side, right?
Yeah.
Wait, how do I run in this game? Oh, that's jumping. Yeah. Oops. Is A jumping? Okay, let's run around.
So I'm curious about that. Is that a car overpass or is that like an elevated rail?
I think this is the subway. I think
Okay.
this is elevated subway.
Sure. Yeah, which they still do have uptown. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And then that like feeds into
Yeah.
like Metro North kind of stuff.
I'm gonna say this looks pretty accurate so far. Like this feels like obviously New York to me.
Yeah, like they really did their research actually.
Yeah.
I don't have any shade to throw on this. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
What the heck? Oh, it's just an
Accurate.
car. Very accurate. Let's see.
There's the Empire State Building in the background and the Chrysler Building on the left. So that's
the
all.
Performance is so bad. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. Well, maybe it doesn't matter. Okay, let's keep
Yeah.
going. It's very realistic for the frame rate to be slow in New York City.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all of these older style tenement buildings, like that's super accurate, like with the fire escapes on the outside and just the way they look. Yeah, I mean, I think they did a pretty good job.
Where are we right now? Like Harlem? Let me see.
Yeah, Washington Heights, Harlem.
Okay, you haven't walked east enough.
Mm-hmm.
Where should we go? Where would you like to go? Would you like to walk through Central Park? Let's go on a stroll through Central Park.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit. Okay, a cop almost running you over is very New York City.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have the right of way right now, so that's fair.
Looks like these cars crashed into each other. That's
Yeah.
very New York City.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh my God.
You gotta wait for the light to change.
In New York,
they stop
for
in New
you,
York, they
though,
stop
right?
for you, yeah.
Like they'll
It's
beep at you and get mad.
Some
but
places,
they're not gonna
some
run
places
you
they don't,
over.
but that's definitely true. And I don't know. You went out there pretty quick, so maybe if it was like a big avenue, maybe they don't have time. But yeah.
In the chat, our captioner Senna Knight mentions that they're in Washington Heights right now. Cool.
Okay. Nice.
And Salty Horse asks, do the NPCs fit in? Wait, do I have?
I saw one like rocker looking dude a minute ago, but I haven't seen too many. But
the sidewalks are oddly empty, maybe because I turned the settings down.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the middle of the day on Central Park North, that's like, okay. Sure. Yeah, so
Were these like biker dudes?
Yeah. I mean, the guy on the left, well, both of these dudes actually look like East Village in the 80s kind of to me, you know?
Yeah,
like,
right, like
that's
punk rock
yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't normally like hang up out here necessarily, would they?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, maybe they felt like going to Central Park. I don't know. But this is like, yeah. Up now we're like Upper East Side or Upper West Side.
Oh my God, are you okay? Hey, how do I press X to help? Oh, I'm just jumping for joy. Sorry.
So yeah, you got a lot of people out jogging, which I guess makes sense for Central Park in the daytime.
Was this like a reservoir?
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, you're probably gonna have starting to be like a wealthier crowd, Upper West Side.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the cars parked along the street, they just put in a bike lane along Central Park West, and there was this one like co-op or condo, and all the owners tried to protest this bike lane because they were going to lose their parking spaces, and the average apartment in that building was like millions and millions of dollars.
Oh God, should we walk down Central Park West to look at all the rich people buildings? Let me
okay,
people doing
is that people doing yoga?
Oh yeah, I think so. Okay, let me turn down the settings even more. Like, this is a pretty old game. I'm like surprised.
This laptop might not have really high specs too. I don't know.
No, this is like an external. This is a Razer Blade.
Yeah.
It's external. I don't know. It runs like Call of Duty fine.
Okay.
It runs Destiny 2 just fine.
Okay. Wow.
I think Rockstar just didn't really care too much about this port, maybe. Not to throw too much shade at Rockstar, although a little bit of shade. It's not.
Yeah.
This is not okay.
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 Graphics can't handle more people on the street. Does the subway exist in this game? I haven't played it in forever. Do you know?
I think the subway does exist. Let's look on the map. How do I
It's hard to tell.
Legend on, zoom in.
Okay, I don't see the It's not like Google Maps. You can toggle the transit.
Yeah,
later
we
on.
need to turn on.
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
transit
Look,
lines.
look, look, look,
Is that a
look.
subway
These lines
station?
look like. I bet those are the subway
Okay,
lines.
so we should go down to the Apple
Yeah.
store down
See,
here.
okay, this is the most unrealistic thing. It looks like there's a First Avenue subway.
Is that the First Avenue subway?
I mean, it's a subway all the way over there. It's gotta be.
No, this is supposed to be more like the Green Line, I think, because it goes up.
That would be this one though, because it's closer to the.
But
Central
this
Park.
one, does a weird thing, right? Does any subway circle around
No,
like that?
not at Central Park. Yeah, no.
Oh wait, there's the station.
Oh wait, yeah,
right
no, because
here.
it goes up into the Bronx a little bit, but
But wouldn't
yeah, I don't know.
do that, right? Okay, which subway station? Oh,
What's the closest one?
We can either
This one or that one? Maybe
go to
that
the
one.
reservoir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find that.
So
So this is northeast of here. Yeah. This is around the lake. I mean, the reservoir is accurate. There's a big reservoir in Central Park.
Is
gets
it the
filled
Jackie
from-
Onassis Reservoir?
I think
is
so.
that what
yeah.
it's called?
I didn't know it was called that.
I
offhand,
don't
but
know what
yes,
it's
that
called.
that is it. Yeah. I think that was it. Yeah, that triangle. Not triangle.
Wait,
Diamond.
where's the subway station?
Oh, right there, on the left, over the wall. To your right. Yeah, down the stairs.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The balls should be green, not white.
Yeah, it's weird that they're all white because the bottom half should be either green or red,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So let's see. So the sign on the subway is green and yellow, or no, blue and yellow. So it's the blue
North
line
Park,
and the
K line.
and
Okay.
the yellow. So
Okay, let's go ahead and take the
the
subway.
the C being blue would be accurate anyway.
Should we try to make it down to downtown Brooklyn?
Sure.
I don't know how the subway
Or downtown
works.
Manhattan even.
I don't know if we have any money.
I mean that I'm sure you can.
I kind of just
hop the
started a new
turnstile
game.
here.
I don't know.
That's fine. Yeah, I would say just hop the turnstile.
Oh wait, but are there?
Oh, there's
gonna
just
be
an open
cuts?
door here.
There's actually a fare evasion kind of campaign going on right now that's mainly targeting people of color
Wait, so
and
hold
poor
on.
people,
Trains
which is messed
to
up. Bohan.
Trains from Midtown and downtown this way. So let's
Okay,
go
let's
this
go
way.
Midtown, downtown.
Yeah, Midtown, downtown. Okay, let's do
Because
that.
Bohan is like Bronx.
Okay.
I think their version of Bronx.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. So we're down here. Oh, can you get? Oh no, that's across the. All
Why
right.
is
So
it so laggy
let's
in the
see. Let's see
subway?
how
This
long
is so weird.
the train takes to come.
Okay.
That's this is a 100-year-old system. They need to do maintenance on the signal.
It's
exchange.
cloth ropes, believe it or not. That's like how all this works.
So how long do you think it's going to take for the subway to come?
Well, there's no countdown clock. Maybe this is an older line.
Yeah. I mean, if it's early 2000s, they didn't have those clocks too. Oh, here we go.
These
I
look
wonder
like-
if it's like when you walk into the station and stand there, it triggers like, okay, send a train in a few seconds kind of thing.
These are like the old school
Mm-hmm.
subway cars, though, right? These are like the old ones you get on the ACE.
Yeah, because the they're covered in graffiti.
Press Y to enter. I am pressing Y. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's-
because they're covered in
thank you.
graffiti, it really looks like on the K line. The stop is North Park. Press Y to leave the chain. Okay. Here we go. Okay. It really looks like the 80s because it was in the mid 90s or early 90s that all that got cleaned up, I think, or maybe even late 80s. So someone was walking on the tracks when the train came in.
Oh wait, capture
Yeah, the
card
sound-
sound is not piping through into the stream. Oh wow.
Oh. Yeah, the subway sounds pretty accurate.
Okay, this is East Park,
Let's go a few more stops. Yeah, I probably need to get down here.
right?
Check out Lower Manhattan. We're still in the Upper East Side.
So we need to take the subway down here. Is this like
Let's
Union Square?
try. Yeah, maybe.
Does that look like that looks like NYU? That's like a Bopst library.
Oh, that's totally like Washington Square Park right there. Huh?
That's Washington Square Park. Should we get out?
Yeah, let's
here?
see.
We're not
let's
on
see
the
what
right
the next
line
stop
to
is.
go
Yeah.
to NYU.
Yeah, we'll figure it
Yeah.
out. It looks like everything's pretty condensed down there too. So. Didn't they throw these carts in the river?
Oh yeah, the old ones. Yeah, they threw the old subway cars
Oh,
into
the ones that had asbestos in them. Those were the red ones.
Wait, there were
Yeah.
asbestos in them?
Yeah, I think-
What?
Yeah,
Why would you put asbestos in the?
because that was when they didn't know asbestos was bad, I think.
I
Like
guess you need
those
to
red
insulate
ones
it,
from
though.
like the 60s or something. Yeah. The big rectangle is the Empire State. Oh, really?
Should we look at the
So
Empire State Building?
if the big rectangle is Empire State Building, that is way too far south. That looks like it should be where Washington Square Park is. So they put a Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
That's literally what that means. We put asbestos in the
Yeah.
river. Wow, the tunnels are.
Maybe that was a
nice.
different kind of train car. I don't know what they did with the asbestos
Oh
cars.
shit, Easton. Okay. So,
Yeah, let's get out here and see what
Okay.
it looks like. Maybe it's like downtown is so condensed that like 34th Street and Union Square.
Right, they
are,
combine
like, the same.
all of Lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right, Easton. Maybe
Okay.
that's like East Village too. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like when we get out.
Oh, the turnstiles are wrong, but
So that's an
stickers are
interesting
right.
thing, right? So
Why would they do the turnstiles like this?
because it's probably a lot easier to get the character through a door like that than through an actual three-way
Oh.
turnstile. Like think about modeling that animation of like.
No, that's not that, because you just put a trigger there, and then when you walk in that trigger,
Sure,
you play the
sure.
turnstile animation,
Sure.
right? Like,
Yeah. That's true.
sorry, Rockstar Toronto, or whoever worked on the environment art for this. We're just picky. Okay, let's run up here, I guess.
Yeah.
What?
Did he just
called
call
me
us a noob?
he
Okay,
just
so is
called me
that
a
the
noob.
Flatiron Building? That looks like the Flatiron Building, like the texture of it. Can you look on the right here? Yeah, so this is supposed to be the Flatiron Building.
Are we on Broadway?
Probably, but so yeah, so the texture, the side of this building looks like the Flatiron Building. It's
Right.
definitely the Flatiron Building.
Yeah, so let's look at
But-
the Flatiron.
Yeah. The interesting thing here is that the Flatiron Building and this is like 2 blocks from the Empire State Building. I just saw it in the background on the right. So, yeah, if you keep walking that way.
Cinematic view. Look at this.
Yeah, go across the street and then turn around and look at it, I guess. That's. All right, let's see.
Oh my god.
The scaffolding looks kind of accurate, except there's no X's here. There should be X's across.
Yeah, there needs to be
Yeah.
crossbars.
So yeah, this looks like the Flatiron Building,
But where's Madison Square Park and all that?
except the
Weird.
Flatiron, it's facing the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
So right now, we're facing
No,
north.
we're facing north.
So
right?
the tip of the Flatiron Building is also facing north, so it's flipped 180 degrees. Yeah. And so here's the Met. So they just took a bunch of famous buildings and like plopped them into
This is supposed to be like Macy's. This
Yeah.
is like their Macy's thing.
Spenders, yeah. And then the MetLife Tower was right here. Get a Life.
Get a Life. Oh,
Yeah.
very witty.
Yeah. So basically, this is like an
Leopold's,
amalgamation.
that's like Barney's.
This is like
maybe.
42nd Street through 23rd Street, squished into like very close together right now. And the Empire State Building is right here.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's awkward. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't like how. This
And if you
part
look
feels.
up this way again here too, that looks like the Worth Building, which is all the way downtown.
Oh yeah, Woolworth. That's
So-
like down near. Oh wait, where am I? I don't think I can get through. I have to walk to the next block.
Yeah. So yeah, they really condensed everything. I mean, it makes sense because like they don't have a huge like I haven't played the new Spider-Man, but I know that's a lot more expansive than this. But it's interesting. Like, what do? You take a bunch of famous buildings and you kind of smush them together to save space.
Okay, so this is more like not West Village yet. We're still in.
Yeah, I mean, at
like
this point the
University
scale is so weird that this could be the West Village. But now it's like starting to look like okay, so that's supposed to be
That's
City Hall
City
now.
Hall.
So we've just gone from 23rd Street to like below Chinatown, below like the Civic Center instantly. So basically everything from 23rd Street to Worth Street is not there.
Yeah, let's go check out.
Do you, is there a Chinatown in this game? Is it right
see.
here? I mean, that would make sense because Chinatown is near City Hall.
Yeah.
But is this an arcade? So there's an arcade in
Video.
Chinatown. That's accurate. That's
This is China. This is like fancy
Chinatown Fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, let's
Interesting.
check out Chinatown. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The signs are a little more Hong Kong-y. Like in Chinatown, they do come out, but not so far into the street.
Yeah.
That's a little more Hong Kong.
It's definitely just more on the buildings. It's less about like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there a Canal Street? Is this Canal?
Big Boss. What is Big Boss?
We're on Amsterdam Lane.
Yeah. Oh, that looks like that building on Canal Street. There's a building on that. I think there's a Starbucks in the. There's like a building that looks exactly like this on Canal Street. That.
Okay.
And so this is probably supposed to be the Manhattan Bridge then.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously very.
Oh my God! Let's
looking.
run into downtown Brooklyn. Okay, no, let's just steal this car.
Yeah,
this is
sure.
taking too long.
Yeah,
How do I
that's
steal car? Oops, I just jumped on it again. How do I? Do I press Y? How do I steal cars again? Okay, there.
There you go. Okay. Oh, sure. Okay.
You don't see that many pickups in New York City though, like this, right?
No,
like
you definitely don't see any like
There's
this.
like a big, beefy pickup.
Like every once in a while, you'll see a Hummer, and you'll be like, "What the heck?" But then, yeah, no, this is like something you'd expect to see in the South or the Midwest or something like that. I wouldn't.
In New York, it's
Unless
box
it's like a
trucks
construction.
and vans.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
Sometimes you see a
pickups.
construction vehicle that's a pickup truck, but like, or like a contractor, but this kind of pickup truck, that's super big like that, very rarely see.
I can see Coney
So
Island
interesting.
already.
So that was like the Manhattan Bridge in that it was coming out of Chinatown.
Uh-huh.
But Chinatown and Civic Center were also kind of mushed together. So and the two bridges are so close to each other too. It's like
Oh shit, there's
okay.
traffic.
But this looks a lot more like the Brooklyn Bridge.
Get out of the way. Oh my God.
This is accurate. The traffic.
Oh my God, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
The amount of traffic on the bridge is so this is probably going to take you on the
shit, this is
BQE
the
unless you
turn
get
off.
off. You got to get off. Yeah.
Oh shit.
You're like, no, I don't want to be on the BQE.
Wait, does the Manhattan Bridge actually do that? It's like sudden turn off, or else you're trapped
no.
on the BQE?
The Brooklyn Bridge does that though.
Oh, right.
I think.
I don't know.
think that
I
one
don't
as much.
drive,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't.
But yeah, coming out of.
Okay, where?
Oh, we're already in like the middle of Brooklyn. We're already in like where friggin'.
Wait, so was that Brooklyn Bridge then? That wasn't.
that was supposed to be.
Manhattan
It looks
Bridge. Okay.
just like it's an amalgamation, I think. But
Okay, so this is Dumbo we're driving around in now.
that looks a little Brooklyn Heights. But yeah, can we go down to Dumbo? Is it? Let's see if they have.
Because they combined Manhattan
Yeah, everything
and
is
Brooklyn,
everything's.
right? Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn
Yeah.
Bridge. So this is meant to be like a Dumbo kind of thing.
Probably
right?
Dumbo / Brooklyn Heights. Yeah, and Brooklyn looks so small in this. Like, if you look at the map again, Brooklyn here is like smaller than Manhattan.
Yeah, they really shrinked it, right?
So wait, what is this supposed to be on the left? Is this supposed to be New Jersey?
That's Jersey.
Okay.
Why did they make Jersey
So-
so big? What is wrong with you?
Yeah. So yeah, in this map, Brooklyn and Queens are like smaller than Manhattan when they're really like much larger. So this
So that's
park
Prospect Park.
is supposed to be, yeah.
Okay, that's
But-
Grand Army.
So this
maybe?
is yeah, even though it's on the right side instead of the left. So and it's north of the bridges that come in. It is very abstracted.
So there's they removed downtown Brooklyn.
Seems like it.
Maybe
yeah.
this is before Metro Tech. And
Yeah, it's
stuff,
before
right?
it's before downtown Brooklyn even had anything probably. So
And
if
then
we go
that's
this
the
way, we're probably
Belt
gonna end up in
Parkway.
Williamsburg. So let's see if
Should we drive up into Williamsburg?
This looks a little bit like. So that's probably looking like the Williamsburg Bridge. The next
That's
one coming
Navy
up.
Yard. I
That makes
guess,
sense. That makes
right?
sense. Yeah, which is now like a film
Should
studio.
I turn right or keep
Sure.
going up?
Whatever.
This is like Kent. No, this isn't waterfront exactly.
This feels like where the J train comes in, like just below Williamsburg.
Yeah. Oh, that really slow turnoff. Oh my God. I take the J train a lot. It's like painful. Oh my God. Yeah, and then sure enough, there's like a very slow where the train has to. Oh my God. But it's combined with Prospect Park.
Yeah. So yeah, they definitely took a lot of geographic liberties here, but oh, that's that tall building in Queens. That's really
Oh,
recognizable.
the city tower up in Queens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh, and this bank that feels like
Williamsburg
near the J.
Bank?
Yeah, the one
The
near the
Diamond
J train.
Savings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like basically they did a lot of the accuracy on the buildings, just not where they are. That's the takeaway I'm getting here.
Right. Oh, oops.
But yeah, I mean overall, like it feels pretty New Yorky to me. Can you get gas in this game? Is there actually a gas mechanic? Like,
I don't think so.
do you need to fill up your car's gas?
Let's try.
That'd probably just be too annoying.
Oh, oops.
Like
Oh,
no one would
oops.
ever do it. You just jack a new car at that point.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, why would you take the subway when you can steal a car and there's
Right.
no traffic? Okay, which side's the gas tank on?
You can't see the dashboard, so it's hard to tell. Yeah.
Do you see the little gas?
Do the cars have gas tanks
I
in
don't
this
think
game?
the cars have gas tanks. Okay, let's try to get out. Okay, get out.
This is a good. That would be really
See if
funny.
we can pay for some gas.
Does the other car have a gas tank?
No, we cannot pay for gas. It looks like it's not even open, actually.
Yeah.
I think we parked at an abandoned gas station.
So did the 3 other people, though.
It's just like, it's one of those like old, like metal shops,
Yeah.
like like off-license
Right,
auto
right,
shop
right.
things.
I don't know what's going on here, but I don't think any of their cars have gas tanks
Oh,
either.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's an interesting design decision, though, like, or oversight or something, like. But I guess if the game doesn't have gas filling, you don't need a gas tank on the car model, right?
Right? Exactly. Okay, it's 2:30. I think we have to stop right here and move on to our next segment.
All right.
So, thank you so much
home,
for
yeah.
coming on.
Absolutely, that was fun.
It's Chris Wallace. Play Killer Queen, buy Killer Queen Black, Steam, Switch. Support your local indie game devs, and well, maybe we'll do another Killer Queen segment later on in the semester. Yeah, cool.
Cheers.
Thanks. Where'd George go? Okay, George is right there.
Hello. How are y'all?
Good. Okay, so this is now we're moving on to another segment because we like to keep things fresh, and we have short attention spans, so we have to keep changing things. So now's a new segment called Meet a Student, where we want to introduce you, as well as maybe the rest of the NYU Game Center community, to a student, because we need to talk to each other more, right? And feel more like a community.
I feel like that's definitely right.
So first,
I'm gonna get mic'd up.
yeah, get mic'd up. I think that goes over your ear.
Mm-hmm.
So this is George. George is a BFA. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I transferred into the program last year. I'm a New York City native. It's been dropped out of college a while ago. Did a bunch of things. Was managing music artists. Got into a lot of activism and organizing. Then did carpentry and metalwork for a while. Met a girl on Tinder who was studying game design in Concordia in Montreal. And then I was like, hey, yo, this seems like a great idea. Because when I graduated high school the first time, I was broke and I didn't have a good computer to make games in the first place. And all the game design programs that I saw were at like at DeVry and University of Phoenix. And I'm just like, that's not real school. So I'm not going to do that. And then after checking out the program in Concordia, I started looking for New York game design programs. And I found this one and I was like, hell yeah, this is definitely the move. So I applied.
Sorry, Concordia.
So, well, not because Concordia is not also great, but that it's Montreal and it'd be way more expensive for me to move to Montreal than to stay in the place that I already lived and had a network of support. So NYU it was, and now I'm here and I love it.
Cool. Let's play one of your games and
Yeah.
talk a little bit about it. So
This is-
get this started.
This is a game I made. This was like a midterm project for my intro to programming class last year. It's like the first full game I made. It's very small and not the greatest, but I loved making it. It's called All Cops Are Bastards. It's the way I feel about things. And it was just me kind of like playing around and getting used to how to program mechanics and like just like taking things from the internet and making them into something new. So all of the sprites and art you see in this game is all stuff that I pulled off the internet from a website that I probably shouldn't say on here. But it was. I'm not selling it. It's purely for fun. And it's literally a game about.
Julia, did you just write All Cops Are Bastards?
That's the name of the game.
But maybe contextualize it. That's the name of the game. No, it's okay.
It's just purely my views only, not a reflection of the whole game center. So you know.
Yeah, it does not reflect the views of NYU. We don't want to start an international incident.
Yeah,
or
yeah, no.
anything.
This is purely me as an individual.
This is just a political opinion by a student here.
Yeah, it's sick though. That was dope for a second. Yeah. If you peep my hat right now, it says "Make America Pay Reparations." So like you know where I stand. So yeah, this was basically there was a lot of like police violence in the news. Well, there always is, but at the time it was like kind of at a height. And then I just wanted to make a fun power fantasy where you get to just punch pigs in the face until something really cool happens at the end. It's super short, doesn't work that well, but yeah, let's hit space.
All right.
And so
also, sound isn't coming through the capture card. Sorry, I don't know why that's happening. We'll fix it maybe next week.
So yeah, basically, it's really simple. You just punch these dudes. You click to punch.
Click to punch.
And
Okay,
then they
sorry.
disappear. Cause yeah, look at that. You know, it's super simple, and you just walk toward the end of the level, punching these cops.
Oh.
And then, yeah, you punched enough cops, and then this happens. This is a mural that some dude in Crown Heights painted, and he sells prints of it on the street on Nostrand sometimes. So I find it very amazing and hilarious. It's just a series of black civil rights leaders, all in black turtlenecks, riding horses through the desert. So if you look at the photo, see there's Barack and Michelle, MLK and Coretta, Tupac, Biggie, Rosa Parks, Harriet.
Blow this up? No, we can't.
We can't even maximize.
Sorry.
It sucks. Huey P. Newton, Malcolm X and his wife, Nelson Mandela, Muhammad Ali, and Bob Marley, all riding horses through the desert. So it was kind of just like my first attempt in taking a lot of the things that inspire me and the things that I think about and putting them into a game format.
Nice.
And I was really happy doing it. Yeah.
Let's play it one more time.
Yeah, I think you know what I did right now. The version you're playing skips to the end because it does take a while to walk to the end of the level after you've punched an X number of cops. I did it just to demonstrate the game more. But
Sure.
But yeah, it's super simple. It was just inspired by Streets of Rage. That's the sprite that you are is Donovan from Streets of Rage.
Mm-hmm.
A game I used to play a lot. It was in a cabinet.
Oh no.
Yeah, see, there.
Oh wait, I got him.
You got him.
One cop got away.
One
I'm
cop.
sorry.
It's okay. It happens. More than one gets away generally.
Right.
So,
Fair enough.
So yeah, Streets of Rage. There was a cabinet at the pizza shop across the street from the projects I grew up in Uptown. From East Harlem originally. Shouts to East Harlem. Shouts to Raccoon Projects. We're at NYU now. Big ups. Making moves. So this is this. It's pretty much this over and over and over again.
So tell us a little bit about the class that you made this in. What was the assignment about, and then why'd you choose to build this for the assignment?
Well, the class was our intro to programming class, and the midterm was just to build a fully playable game in processing. Just using the things that we had learned over the first half of the semester.
Mm-hmm.
So this was just dropping.
Set that there.
Just taking a lot of the programming patterns we had learned in class, and this is how I chose to put them together. And it was super fun to see my progress and be able to do this, and I did this pretty easily. Because before I got to the game center, I had started messing around in Unity and did that rollerball tutorial. I don't know, some of you might know what it is. It's a classic Unity tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it was more than finally taking these things I had been spending a few months learning and putting them together for something that I cared about. So it was cool.
Nice. Do you have a website or a SoundCloud you want to plug or anything?
I have my itch, which has assignments from your class mostly on there right now.
You don't have to show those if you don't want. It's up to you. It's up to you.
Damn, B. No, they're fine. I love showing them. I love showing I'm not of the mind that I have to show work that's pristine or completely finished. Everything up there is prototypes. It's my journey in this new venture in my life as I try to become a game designer and learn how to do new things. So I invite you to go to my itch page. It's just
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and open it up then.
it's just itch.io and then George Machado, George.machado. George.machado is my itch page.
Oh, George.
Machado at itch. It should be
Machado.
Yeah.
Itch.
Yeah, .itch. There, that should
.io. It lets you do that.
I think so. No, well.
Or is it just one George Machado, one word?
Yeah, it is George Machado, one word. So yeah, right now there's only a couple. These are literally 3 assignments that I've done for Robert's class. None of them are fantastic, but I'm still excited about all of them. They're pretty silly and they're all rough prototypes. All of these things have things that I've modeled on my own for the first time in Maya. So that was super cool and interesting to do, and it feels good to be making things.
Which one you want to look at?
Let's look at Supplicate version 3. This is actually a game I'm working on currently. This is our midterm. It's due on Monday.
In my class.
In Robert's class. So this is actually a fun, and the version I have now looks way better than this, but it is what it is. We're just gonna do this right now. So, the prompt for this assignment was to make an autobiographical game. Currently, I don't have enough money to stay here. It's not the Game Center's fault. They have no say in financial aid. So a lot of what I'm doing right now on my Twitter is begging rich people for money so I can stay here. And so what you do in this, I've turned Twitter into a physical space. I'm making models in Maya right now to substitute a lot of these. And
right, so this is your prototype where you're trying to figure out how the game should work and stuff.
Exactly. So this is purely for functionality. None of these graphics are final. So basically you move around the space, and these floating rectangles you see around are the profiles of rich folk. And when you go there and press space in front of the profiles, you start begging for money, and then everyone in the mall is a baby boomer, and they come up to you and start tweeting things that baby boomers want.
Oh my god, yeah, they're looking at me.
Yeah, they sit and they look at you, and they judge you for asking for money in the world that they created.
I'm an egg. They only like me when I'm an egg.
Yeah, because eventually there'll be a model of me standing and a model of me supplicated in prayer, the title of the game, Supplicated. Yeah, so they only come after you if you're begging, and they'll come and this bar right here that is now completely drained is your emotional energy. You have to make sure you keep an eye on that.
Oh no, did I use up all my emotional energy?
Yeah, you're screwed now.
I need more emotional energy.
It recharges very, very slowly. After playtesting in class, it recharges faster now. So, learning things here all the time, iteration. It's fun and great.
I mean, but it could also be, because this is kind of meant to be like a personal kind of statement, I could also read some importance in making sure emotional energy never really feels like good or convenient, right?
Yeah, that's also very true. So, yeah, I was debating whether or not to make the recharge faster. I think it definitely does need to be a little faster. It's very, very slow right now. Or if it stays it's slow, there needs to be some more indication as to why it's staying that slow. But yeah.
And eventually one of these Twitter profiles floating around will give me money?
Yeah, so if you beg enough, what will happen, I have modeled stacks of thousands of dollars that will rain from the sky. And all your problems will be gone. Because, when they say money doesn't buy happiness, that's a lie. It doesn't buy happiness to a certain point. I forget who did this study. I think it was Harvard Psych or something. They did a thing. After it's $2 million, money stops buying you happiness. But until then, it works. So,
I mean, maybe not necessarily buying happiness, but money can rent you happiness.
It can rent you happiness, and it can definitely. It's just a thing. I think it's we think about
Oh wait, the Twitter profile's gone, and I'm stuck.
Oh, see, this is a bug that I fixed. So what's happening right now is that the velocity of the rigid body is stuck in this state because you cannot. Right now, what happens is there are two models that are turned on and off when you switch between standing and praying. And the way the code is written in this version, I have it in a nested if statement that's supposed to set the velocity of the rigid body when the character is kneeling to 0. The way it's nested in the if statement actually doesn't work logically, so I fixed that. So now it works. So what happens is now that you can't actually move while you're kneeling, but you're not within the colliders of the Twitter profiles to switch back to standing. So you're stuck here forever, and it's broken, which is cool. And I know how to fix it now, which I think is part of why the entire reason why I'm here.
but if you'll let me slip into teacher mode for a little bit, that was just really beautiful about how you were able to unpack and troubleshoot and debug your game and explain that fluidly and fluently to an audience. So really, that's the real lesson. And that's the real education we want to give our students here at NYU Game Center, right?
And it works, apparently, because I'm out here learning things. This is great.
People are learning stuff here, right?
Learning
sometimes.
Sometimes. Having a lot of fun. I came back to higher education with, very, very guarded. My experiences prior to being here, I was also at a very fancy 4-year private institutions. Wasn't the greatest in terms of diversity and equity and understanding difference in identity. And I came I came back to my undergrad ready to throw hands. I was not here. I'm here to get my degree, not make friends, and just do my thing.
You're not here to make friends.
Yeah, it's just no, I'm here to be about my business and do the thing. And actually, the Game Center has been a place that's been incredibly welcoming. Not only was already a place that I think is ahead of the game than of a lot of departments in terms of understanding differences in identity and being an incredibly aggressive space, but is also willing to change and accept criticism, which is a thing I've experiences with experience with multiple professors here, which has been wild, dope, and cool, and it makes me feel really comfortable as an artist to do and try anything. And make weird, cool stuff. So
yeah, I want to echo that. I mean, even though I'm biased because I'm literally a professor here, I just want to say that in my undergrad, I never had town halls. In my undergrad, my department did not care to listen to students really at all. I never even knew where the offices for my professors were, really.
Yeah.
And now here, the professors can't even hide from the students. They're literally right outside our window. We can't hide. There's no escape.
It's very true. I frequently pop into all these offices and bother all of them constantly. And it's amazing, and it makes it feel really good to be a student here. So yeah.
We cannot keep George away. George is just always here.
It's very, very true.
I guess one last question I would want to ask, if you want to talk about it, is you have an unusual background for a lot of BFAs, right? A lot of the BFAs here usually come out of high school and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to speak to your experience as a BFA a little bit, and then maybe any wise advice from your years about what a BFA should mean to them?
Yeah, absolutely. I went first time I was in a undergrad program. I was traditionally straight out of high school.
Django Talking Heads.
I was straight out of high school. Ended up leaving that program because of financial reasons, mental health issues, things that I'm definitely willing to talk about. First generation college student, was overwhelmed by the experience, ended up leaving, and then spent all of my 20s basically just I came back home to New York and just trying a bunch of different things. The day I dropped out of all of my classes, I sent an email to a rap group that I really liked, and I was like, yo, I'm black, I'm broke, I'm from New York, what's really good? They reached out to me, and then I started working with them, and then through that, I just started doing things, right? Just kind of saying yes to experiences, trying a bunch of different things, and through that, I learned how to be a way more confident person and be okay with hearing no, I think, and doing all kinds of things, meeting people from all over the place, trying things just to try them, even if I didn't necessarily think this is what I wanted to be doing forever. Like that's how I ended up doing carpentry and metalwork. Like someone was just like, "Do you need a job?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I'm very broke."
Wow, wait, like what can you build? What?
Pretty much everything in this office. I can build a lot of things. I'm like fully a mediocre carpenter
Wait,
and
what?
metalworker.
Really? Can you like build? No, that's a book.
That's a book. This thing that this
Can
laptop.
you build? You can build this
Yes,
table.
easily.
You can build that.
That's very simple.
Wow.
But like, I'm again like not the best at it. Like I could probably do. This is a very simple stool / table. I could probably do this. Like pretty easily. A lot of things I might have to go on YouTube and get some refreshers and like follow some instructions. But
As you do, as everyone does
exactly.
for everything.
But like I'm fully comfortable in a wood and a metal shop, and I kind of like can use all those tools. And that was just like a random experience. I'm like a friend of mine who was a musician who was on our label imprint was a carpenter for his day job. And then our recording engineer, who happened also to be the engineer of this like very like wealthy rapper who had just like made a bunch of money. The lights are doing the thing that they do again.
The lights are doing the thing. Okay, so one fun fact, for a little bit of context for the folks at home, oh Jesus Christ, is that our lights, we actually don't have light switches right now because this is a futuristic new building. So instead, to control the lights, you have to download an app on your phone and then use the app to try to Bluetooth connect to a light and then hope you can control the light that way. So we've actually been doing we've been doing a lot of calibration of systems where it turns into a little dance club sometimes, during class even sometimes, which is super fun.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks NYU's haunted now. That's okay.
It's spooky season, so it's appropriate.
It is spooky season. One question I had for you, since you have all that wood and metal like background and know-how, do you think you're going to bring that into your like capstone project maybe?
I don't know if I can. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to bring it into my. It's definitely in all of my projects. I think in just by nature that like I'm like super comfortable like thinking in 3D space, right? And like how objects relate to one another. So in the things that I design and like if I'm designing a level or any kind of thing, it's way more intuitive than it was before to start doing those things. So it's always present in everything I make. As for doing that on my capstone, I'm unsure. It's definitely something I want to do in my work. I'm very interested in the way I can integrate like physical things I make into maybe like AR or VR projects. As like using like rough shapes to add texture to an AR or VR space. So that's a thing I'm like thinking about and like have been like sketching and like just filling my notes app on my phone with possible iterations of what that could look like. But I don't know how to make anything in AR yet. So first, let's do that.
Well, good thing we have a class called XR Studio,
which I'm definitely taking next year if I'm here.
if that Twitter game we were talking about, right? If that works out.
If that works out, I'm definitely taking XR Studio, and I'll be making those things.
Awesome. Well, hope to see you next semester. I hope you get that money. Apply for that Sloan Grant money, maybe. Make a science game.
I know.
That's
the thing. It's like making a science. It's like, yeah.
It doesn't have to be that sciencey though. I think like when you think science game, you think, oh, it has to be. I have to like work with a scientist and make it about atoms or something. No, as long as it's like this game has like a tree in it. Yeah. And then we learn, and then like that could be sciencey.
It definitely could be sciencey, and I've been thinking about that. But it's also like, for me, in terms of the like, it's hard to then like start creating for the soul, at least right now and where I am in like my progress of becoming a game designer, to then make things solely for money right now. It's hard. It's like, and it's a lot of pressure, and it's like I'd rather like let's figure it out. I'm applying to scholarships for sure,
right?
But making something that I'm doing right now, like be the thing I get $50,000 from, seems daunting.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that pressure, right?
Yeah.
So very understandable. Fair enough. And there's always future years.
No, exactly. I definitely, the
years.
Sloan Grant is something I've been super interested in, and I think it jives with a lot. So like my my stretch goals for my game design career. It's like use the parlance of the industry.
It's okay. It's 2019. We're millennials.
That's right.
We can do it.
Is like I'm super interested in the idea of utopia or utopic narratives. Like I feel like a lot of the media in the world is dystopic because our world is dystopic. But I think it's important to imagine the world being a better place to then like create that better world. And like there's one particular story. I don't know if any of y'all have ever read Octavia Butler. But she has these 2 books called the Parable series, the Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents. Was supposed to be a quadrilogy, but like she had a tragic accident and passed away before she could finish them. But kind of edged toward kind of like a utopic society, you can say. And I think I want to explore that space, so I would love to like maybe finish that narrative in game form. So like there's a bunch of science in there. They get rocket ships. They got that. So
That's science.
It's science, B. So we're gonna have to do.
Okay, yeah, that sounds really cool.
So like yeah, that's the thing. That's been in the back burner for a little bit.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for joining us for this
Anytime.
broadcast. Let's shake hands and let's show
Yeah.
student faculty bonding, unioning. All right. Thanks for coming out.
Of course.
And let's see. I guess we should just start ending the show now, right? It's almost 3:00. So this is about all we have time for. Thanks again to all our guests who joined us today. Naomi with the news, Chris Wallace who worked on Killer Queen Black, as well as George Machado. We are going to try a new format actually next week. Next week we're going to try to broadcast in the student lounge and to like get in people's faces a little bit.
Yeah. No, I'll be there.
And George will be there. And it'll be probably noon to 2 p.m. next week. So we're actually changing our time as well. And this is just us trying new different formats, experimenting with the forums, seeing what works and what doesn't. Yeah. So we thank everyone watching and going along with this experiment with us.
Absolutely.
Do you want to cut to credits? So, credits, I was your director host, Robert Yang. News co-host was Naomi Clark. Your operator was Julia D'Amato. Graphics were by Winnie Song. And captioning was by Mirabai Knight of Steno Knight Cart Services. Thank you so much, Mirabai, especially, for captioning all my nonsense. All right, well, that's our show. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And again, if you live in New York City, please come out to our talk at 7 p.m.
And Playtest Thursdays today, too.
Oh, yeah. Playtest Thursday, again, at 5:30 to 7 p.m. And then right after Playtest Thursday is our talk with Bo Ruberg. So come over here, play some games, get fed, eat some pizza, and then hear about queerness and stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be sick.
That's a complete night, All right. Thanks, everyone. Peace out. Bye.